What's up, guys? Red light is on. UFC 276 week. To my left, the cornerman, ATT ex-coach, Bellator contender X, Ryan Quinn. Ryan, how you doing, brother?
Fantastic. Been looking forward to this week for a long time. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. The Yankees keep on winning fights, games. I'm in Atlanta about to watch fights. Life is good. Underneath 5-0. She doesn't know how to lose fights. The real ruthless Elle Wagman. Elle, how are you?
Doing great. How are you guys?
All right, good. Can I pay some bills real quick? Is this okay?
Let's go.
All right, real quick, 20-second thing. Listen, bettors, don't let bettors bet alone. So grab a couple cold ones and your best buds, and get ready to pick some fights for UFC 276. And how do you bet? How do you pick fights? Go to my bookie right now. All you have to do, watch this.
On it.
Boom, boom, boom. It's right there. Put in the promo code bananas. You'll get 100% match back in your deposit. You put $50, you get 50. You put $400 and you get $400 back. Go to mybookie.ag and use the promo code bananas. There you go. Go to mybookie. There we go. All right.
That's making me think of that song by Gwyneth Paltrow. You ready? Join in. Betting bananas. BANANAS. That's how it goes, right?
Gwen Stefani. Gwen Stefani.
You call her Gwyneth Paltrow?
Yeah, Gwen Stefani. There you go.
Gwyneth Paltrow is the actress that named her kids weird things.
Oh, right. Apple. My bad. But hey, listen, whatever.
It's the thing. You passed your 20s.
So, that's the problem. So before we get into this, we have to talk. Some have called me the Mick Maynard whisperer. I orchestrated a fight on this card. Dave, you could vouch for that with Sean Strickland versus Alex Pereira. I called that days before it happened, and then I suggested it to Glover Teixeira, but like literally 3 days before they announced it. Man, I'm so pumped for this. That was like in February? Like February or March? Oh, I'm so pumped for this fight.
So, guys, we all know Israel Adesanya, one of the best fighters in the world, the best middleweight, bar none, fighting Cannonier. That's awesome. We all know we have a trilogy featherweight, maybe the greatest featherweight of all time, Max Holloway, the number 2 pound-for-pound fighter in the world, Alexander Volkanowski. But, like, everyone's dropping Pedro Munoz and Sugar Sean. We got Brian Barberina and the kind of ruthless Robbie Lawler. We have so many great fights. We got Piera and we got Strickland. God, they're like Jessica Ai and Macy Barber's being overlooked. Brad Riddle and Jalen Turner. It's so stacked. It's insanely stacked, top to bottom. Top.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right.
They have not been screwing us over on the card.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, this preliminary card is like could be its own fight night.
I love it. All right, let's get into it. Let's win some money. Let's go to mybookie.ag. Put in that promo code bananas. Let's do the best bet. Let's just make sure. Let's just win money right here. We can maybe do something on the underdog. Maybe we'll get lucky with a 3-fight parlay, but let's absolutely make money right now. We're going to start with Elle Wagman. What is the absolute best bet at UFC 267?
Well, so this is kind of a crazy card for the money lines. If you're looking at just like these single bets, there's a lot of huge favorites. There's some wild numbers, but I actually think that Jalen Turner by decision is incredibly good value. And I might have changed since then, but I think earlier I was looking at it was plus 350. And I know he's a big finisher, but Brad Riddell is one of the toughest guys in there. And I really do think that he can at least survive all the way to the final bell.
So we got Jalen Turner, not even just by win. You think this fight's going 15 minutes?
Yes, absolutely. And even if you're not sure, man, the value in this is such a good bet to look at. Like just because people expect him to finish, and I think he the toughness of Brad Riddell gets a little bit overlooked sometimes because that dude is an absolute dog. I really can see that going the distance.
It's such a great call. Fight Bananas made the post earlier this week on Monday. Well, it's like the sleeper fight of this card. And I was hoping people would put Jalen Turner and Brad Riddell, and they did. Like, this is you ready for this one? I don't want to overstate it. This might be a little hyperbolic. this could be one of those main events of a fight night card. It's like a little circadian and Gamrot to me. The real ones know how good of a fight this is. Jalen Turner has turned a new leaf. He's an absolute monster. He's on a rhythm right now. And Brad Riddle, this is a great, great fight. So I love it. I love it. So we're going 15 minutes. Jalen Turner, Brad. Ryan, my man, the cornerman, the whisperer to Mick Maynard. What is your best bet of UFC 267?
I got to clarify. I've messaged Mick Maynard and he's just seen on Instagram. He's never really replied. So I may have embellished a little bit on the whole Mick Maynard whisper thing. But my best bet, I just couldn't take my eyes off the lock of the night, being Israel Adesanya over Jared Cannonier by decision. I know that the dead on was pretty high, but I just really see this fight going to decision based on Israel's track record against strikers similar to this. He becomes very calculative with his striking. He picks and chooses. I mean, if he knocks him out, it looks like his knockouts are off of counter punches against people like this with a left hook. But I think that Jared, he's deceivingly long with those arms, and he could really box and he could find his way in, and that, which is going to take time in itself. I think you'll see a chewed up first round here. But I just really like Israel being slow, methodical, and just picking and pointing away for 20 minutes after the first round.
I just looked up my mybookie.ag. Izzy by points is plus 125. You're getting plus money on Israel Adesanya?
Yeah,
that's a great bet.
I didn't know that. I thought it was under 120 somewhere else, but that's why I'm going with my bookie.
There we go. There's the commercial, my bookie. Put us on already. All right, yeah. Elle, let's get an underdog. Let's get someone with plus money. There's a lot of underdogs I like. Maybe someone older, longer in the tooth I still like as an underdog. But Elle, where are you going? Where are you looking? Where's your underdog play of UFC 276?
I know we share a nickname, but man, I just don't think Robbie is gonna get it done against Bryan Barberena this weekend. Bryan has been far more active and is beating good guys as well. I know he's also had his seasons as well, but Robbie has not had a win other than a very, very old, not great looking Nick Diaz since 2017. And I'm a huge Robbie fan, but I just think the age and the miles on him are going to get to him. Bryan has true power, and Barberena can absolutely sleep him or just hurt him repeatedly for rounds.
Wow, I like it. Wow. So Robbie Lawler tries to take Elle Wagman's nickname, and now Elle Wagman picks Bryan Barberena. I understand. It might be a little bit, but I get it. I like that a lot.
I stand corrected. It's actually even money now.
I saw that in my book. I have
even money.
He was an underdog before. An underdog before, and now it's even money. But it's still a good value. If you need another underdog, I like Gabe Green as well.
Ooh. Okay.
Dude, I'm sorry to. You go ahead, Ryan, but that's not a bad one to put either. Just beat some good guys, Linessi, Phil Rowe, and we just haven't seen much from Ian Gary yet. Ian Gary had a not so stellar performance against Darian Weeks.
So you picked two guys that are trained at Sanford MMA to lose Saturday night.
Wait, is Ian Gary at Sanford?
Oh yeah. Big time. Big time. All right, we're moving on. We're not going to get Elle Wagman. She doesn't know how to lose in the octagon in the cage, but we're not going to get her in trouble. All right, Ryan, what's your best your underdog play? I think I know where you're going. I know you're going to stick with a savvy veteran. I think I know where you're going. What's your underdog play, UFC 276?
There's no thinking about it. I'm going with Pedro Munoz over Sean O'Malley. I just I know Pedro's, what is he, 2-3 in his last 5 or something like that? But look at the people he's fought. They've all held or fought for a world title. He's just in there with everybody. Even he said, I just kind of knew Sean O'Malley was coming because he was still winning, but I was still just staying here because I was fighting the same people. And, obviously there's a knock on Sean O'Malley that he hasn't fought the Pedro Munozes, or anyone in the top ranking and to get where he's at. But on top of that, the style, I've trained with Pedro. I know that he's not going to rush forward against Sean O'Malley like that. I know that he's He's going to be very methodical. He's very good with his footwork to move laterally. He's going to get Sean O'Malley to paint himself into a corner while he scores some power punches to the body, head. And he has very underrated leg kicks, Pedro. He's just got these explosive leg kicks. And I think that's going to chop down O'Malley as well. So I'm just really feeling good about Pedro Munoz.
I like that a lot. I like that a lot. So Sean O'Malley kind of ran into one fighter named Chito Vera, someone with really good, strong leg kicks like Pedro. That just throwing it out there. I like that a lot. I think, and also, the thing you said the most that I'm really into is that I think the level of competition, people, you just don't know until you know, right? Like, well, everyone with Chimaev, and he ran through everyone until he fought Gilbert Burns, and Gilbert Burns, I know, fought for the championship and all. And I know Chimaev still won the fight, but that was an absolute war. Great 15 minutes of fight. Like, Pedro's fought Sterling, and Pedro's beat Rob Font, and Pedro, a split decision against Frankie. Like, Pedro's fighting the top 3, top 5 guys in the world on a consistent, for years. So I like that a lot. Elle, this is the time, we can really sprinkle something together. We're gonna win some money from my book. I'm sorry, they're gonna like to sponsor us because we're getting their name out, but we're gonna win some money. Let's get some good odds here. Let's get maybe an underdog. Let's get something easy in there. What's your 3-fight parlay? We can go over unders. We can throw it all in there. You're the boss. Take it away.
All right, so for my first leg, I have the main event going over 4.5 rounds. I'm definitely with Ryan on that. I think we're definitely going to see a long night there. Next, I have Dricus Du Plessis over Brad Tavares. The dude has all finishes, is an absolute animal. Brad has kind of been, win a couple, lose a couple for a while now. I think Du Plessis is definitely going to get the job done there. And then this is my lock of the night. And the reason I didn't use this for my best bet is because the odds just, there's not a whole lot of value unless you're parlaying it. But Andre Muniz over Uriah Hall, that is an absolute easy bet, in my opinion.
Wow. Okay. I've been hearing that lately. The last 4 days, I've been really hearing a lot of good steam about Andre. And it's just, I don't have to tell you guys this, it's about matchups. And this is just a horrible matchup for Uriah Hall. Horrible. Exactly. So I love it. That's a really cool parlay. And I like how you're all over the card. You got someone very early. You got someone a couple more fights. And then we got to wait to finish off in the main event. All right, Ryan, man, let's win a 3-fight parlay. Elle won last week. She won her American top team 3-fight parlay. She's on a roll. Ryan, let's catch up, dude. Where are you looking at? Where's your 3-fight parlay?
All right, we have a disagreement. I'm going with Robbie over Brian Barberena. I think that Robbie's boxing and his footwork is a little bit more to keep Barberena guessing on his power punches. I don't think the body locks that he uses as a secondary attack is going to work against Robbie. And on top of that, I think that Robbie's in a new place right now mentally than he's been in a while. Like, usually we watch our friends fight together. I shot him a call. He called me back up. I was like, "Are we watching Glover this weekend?" He goes, "No, man, the last 6 weeks I'm training at midnight. I'm making sure that I'm on the clock." Or he's training between 11 a.m. and 11 and 12 to get his biological clock on time. And last time he was doing that was when he fought Rory the second time and Johnny Hendricks. So I just think that he's in the zone. He's going to be ready. He's going to be crisp. I like that fight. And the next one I got Macy Barber over Jessica Ai. Now, this is a tough one because Jessica, even though she's been losing, she's fought a who's who. But I just think that I really like what I saw out of Macy after she beat De La Rosa, and I just feel she's on the way up. She's a little bit younger. I hate using that as comparison, but I just really like the way I saw now training at Alpha Male, and I just really like her on my decision. The next one, I really like Jim Miller over Donald Cerrone. Now, as on the flip side from what I saw, I said last week, good thing for Joel Lozano this fight's at 155 because Donald has a little more juice in the tank at 170. I still think that's the case, but I think a rested, non-cutting weight Jim Miller is going to be great for his knees, for those ligaments, for that scramble and grappling that he's going to have to bring to the table. That I think that Cerrone, because he has a little bit more wrestling than Joel Lozano did, Cerrone's just not going to be able to keep up with that. And I do think that, the weight cuts, like we mentioned before, 2 weight cuts and then this and then crap happening, even though this fight's at 170, I think we're going to be a little bit overtrained for Donald Cerrone.
Heck yeah. I'm with it, man.
I love
Especially Jim Miller.
Yeah. I just, we talked about, I think maybe it was right before we went on. I like Jim Miller a lot in this spot. I just think it's a lot for the Cowboy, and I know he's done this, and I know like that's just spiel. But when you get to a certain age and so long in the tooth, this is his 48th professional fight. It's just like sometimes I just think you need a little bit of like you got to know who you're fighting. Only one weight cut. And I know it's at 170, but you're still the body went through the weight cut, last week. Like it went through it. So is he 100%? And Jim Miller's been ready for this fight for a long time. And now he was going to go at 155. And now, like, he can just bulk up and not cut this weight. I think Jim Miller's going to be a monster Saturday night. I like Jim a lot. And I'm happy you said Macy Barber, Ryan. This is guys, we haven't mentioned Jessica Rose Clark. We didn't mention Macy Barber. We went 15 minutes and 20 seconds without mentioning a female fight. There's 2 really good female fights. And I like the Macy Barber pick. I'm not gonna lie. I think I like Brian Barberina. I think I'm leaning that way. But Jim Miller and Macy, those 2 I like a lot. I mean, that's good.
Yeah, there's so many fights that I'm like, oh crap, I forgot about that one. We haven't even mentioned Holloway and Volkanowski yet.
Haven't mentioned.
I know.
Let's just say this. It's such a good fight. I don't think we can bet on it, especially because you see Max Holloway at a plus 150. You want to lean that way.
Yeah.
But Alexander Volkanowski, the second best fighter in the world, you can argue it. And in a weird way, he's a lot of people are short changing him that he lost the first couple of times to Max. I think he has a little chip on his shoulder to like, guys, this is over. I'm the best featherweight in the world. I'm leaning Alexander Volkanowski. But, like, how can you bet against Max Holloway, and how can you ever say Max Holloway's going to lose a fight out loud? Like, it just doesn't happen,
It's so weird to think about, especially after, like, the night Max beat Calvin Kattar, I was like, nobody's ever going to beat this man again. It's not possible. Like, it's not possible. But then, like, he was in some danger with Yair, and I know Yair's a super dangerous guy, this is why this sport is so insane, because styles make fights. I think Max beats those guys 9 times out of 10, but I think Volkanovski beats Max 9 times out of 10. And I could be wrong, and I'd love to see it because I'm a huge Max Holloway fan. But like you said, like I think it's one of those things where it's so hard to put money on it.
Yeah. So Ryan, betting aside, who do you like, Volkanowski or Holloway?
I think I like Volkanowski. I mean, I'm not going to be, if I'm wrong, I'm not going to him and haw. I mean, I make excuses whenever I'm wrong, but with this one, it's just whatever. Like, but I think I'm leaning Volkanowski. I just think that he's like hitting his prime. I think he's a little bit more explosive when it comes to the level changes. That's going to help with takedowns. I like Volkanowski, but if he gets caught up in a blitz, like good night, or it's going to get a cut and it's going to affect the fight. But I still like Volkanowski.
All right, couple last things, and we'll let everyone run. Next week, RDA, the Raphael connection, RDA versus Fiziev. I love that fight. Cannot wait for that. I hope I didn't say this earlier, and I should have as a host. Ryan, do we have a trivia question today?
We do, actually. We do.
There we go. So before the trivia question, one quick, you're the whisper to Mick. Gamrot looked amazing. I don't want to talk about judges' scorecard or whatever. He looked phenomenal. It was a great fight, and a lot of people were on Circadian. He was the betting favorite going into that fight. I thought Gamrot looked incredible. Where would you match him up next? Maybe another lightweight. He did say Justin Gaethje out loud. He called out the boogeyman. Do you like that fight?
I love that fight. I don't think they're going to give it to him though. I think they want to see him in a 5 to 10 than a 1 to 5. That's what I think. And honestly, I don't think they would want to see a Justin Gaethje lose to him, because then what happens with Justin Gaethje next, which is totally capable of happening, And I just don't see the fight happen. Who do I see next for Gamrot? I haven't thought of it yet. I had a good one for I remember for Grant, but it looks like they went another way with it. But
who was your?
I had Grant on, and I said I think that your next fight's going to be Daniel Hooker, and it looks like it went another direction.
He's fighting Guida, right?
Yeah, it looks like he's asking to play, which I guess I get because I understand Grant's a tougher fight for him, but at the same time. He's totally capable of losing to Clay too. Clay's just older.
Yeah, I mean, and like Does a Daniel Hooker and a Gamrot, that doesn't do anything for really either of them if that fight happens, you know? Like,
no, it really doesn't.
Real quick, isn't this crazy? So I think I saw in the standings, right? I think Gamrot's like 9 or 11 right now, right? Isn't it wild because number 8 in the rankings is Conor McGregor. So if I go walk outside in downtown Atlanta, Georgia, and say, hey, who's going to win this UFC fight, this main event, McGregor or Gamrot? 99 people outside say Conor McGregor. I think us real ones, I think Gamrot absolutely destroys Conor McGregor in the year 2022.
No question.
Demolishes him.
No question. So I'm going to keep it fairly simple for the trivia.
Okay.
Name all the fighters. It's not that many. It's a handful who have won the Ultimate Fighter and went on to win the UFC Championship. And tell us next week.
We're all like.
Is it 4?
Yeah, how many are there?
Next week.
Awesome. Ryan Quinn, the cornerman. Guys, check out all of his content. He's got great interviews. Dean Thomas, your interview with Grant Dawson was amazing. Check out that Grant Dawson guy. He's a pretty good fighter, up and comer. You know, he might make it one day. He might make it.
I don't know. He's kind of ugly.
Elle Wagman, telling you guys she doesn't know how to lose. When are you going to fight again? What's on the horizon for Elle Wagman?
I don't know yet. I don't know. We'll have to see. We're talking about a couple potential names, but I don't want to change it.
Elle, you're still super young. Joanna has left the division. 115 in the UFC would be pretty good for Elle Wagman.
No, it would not. It would not. I'm way too small, man. I'm too small. I've stood next to Joanna. I've felt the difference. It's different, man. That 10 pounds makes a huge difference.
It is crazy. All right. You guys are the best. Guys, go right now to mybookie.ag. There's got great odds. They have great props. Put in the promo code BANANAS. You get 100%. You want to put in $60, you get $60 of free play. Go get it today. Put it on UFC 276 and put it on Elle's underdog pick and put it on Ryan's best bet, and we're all going to win money. There we go.
Let's go.
Guys, have a good night. UFC 276, enjoy. And we'll talk about, we'll answer Ryan Quinn's trivia question next week.
Yeah. All right, guys.